Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Santo Torcivia, the president of Market Insights. Santo, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Kemp. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to talk to you. So you've recently published your 2023 edition of the U.S. FLOOReport, and I thought it'd be good to tell our listeners a little bit about what some of your forecast for the flooring industry moving forward. How should we start?
Well, I guess we could start with what do we see overall? And tremendous amount of uncertainty. There's so many things going on in the world economy, let alone the U.S. economy. I mean, things could go a whole bunch of different ways, and we tried to give it our best shot in terms of assumptions. Inflation is just one of the main problems that we're facing as a country right now in an economy, and so is the rest of the world. Problem is, we're hoping that things will change. The administration will change some of its policies, open up some of the energy drilling and things, and hopefully that will put a crimp on the rise of energy prices, which are pulling everything with them. But we'll see what happens there.
Well, let me go to the bottom line first, and then we'll work to how you got there. One of the things I know you're calling for is a 4% growth in the total flooring business from a revenue perspective. Let's remember that prices are higher, so a 4% growth in comparison to last year might be, on a unit perspective, even down just a hair. But let's go through this. You've got resilient growing 7%, laminate growing 7%, wood down 3%, ceramic tile up 2%, carpet and rug up 3%. That's got to be mostly on the rug side because we hear broadloom is now kind of gotten back to its normal loss of share. So that's total flooring 4%, right?
Yeah, and we're already seeing huge price increases being announced. Shaw and Mohawk just went 12 and 10, and that's all factored into this. The fact that because this is dollar growth. When you look at dollars and you look at imports and the decline in the U.S. dollar exchange rate plus the domestic price increases, we think that our numbers are in the ballpark. Now, next year, we're looking for overall flooring to be flat. This inflation is going to really slow things down, and it depends to what extent things are put in place to try to slow that down. If they do the right thing, we think we can get away with a slowdown, not a recession, and that's what we're hoping for.
So let's talk about the economy for a minute. You're calling this year for the economy to grow at a roughly just over 2%, right?
That's right. And then next year, 0.7%. Housing starts, they're a strange breed right now. The reason they're a strange breed is they're getting some unique assistance from investment banks on Wall Street. People like BlackRock are buying up single-family homes. In some cases, they're even making deals with national home builders to have homes built for their specs for them to package together to rent. This has never been seen before on a scale like this. And eventually what will happen is these guys have advantages that price individuals out of the market. They can go to Wall Street. They can get cheap money. They don't require inspections on the property, and this is including existing homes. And so people have less trouble selling to these investment people than they do to a typical individual. And, then they'll package up these packages of homes and sell them overseas once they wring everything out of them to China or EU or wherever. That's unique. We've never seen anything on a scale like this from companies like that.
Okay, so another thing you follow is what's going on within the channel as far as independents versus chains. Tell us what your read is on that.
Well, we see the trend continuing and a continuous consolidation. Flooring is a mature industry, and it's exhibiting typical mature industry characteristics, which is we're now in the consolidation phase of the industry. And what we're seeing is big box stores, and within the big box, I'm including Floor & Decor, besides Home Depot, Lowe's, and Menards. And they're pressing their advantages to gain more and more retail share. The distributors are under the same kinds of pressure, and manufacturers too. We have a whole new generation of individuals coming up who don't know the brands that you and I have grown up with. And
Right.
companies that don't advertise to these new millennials and the new class of individuals who are coming into the market, these people are not going to know who they are. They're not going to have a reason to buy them. Well, the answer is to get out there and get your brand out there and give them a reason, give the consumer a reason to look for you and buy you. We saw this a number of years ago when Shaw pushed their LVT product, and it took off like a rocket. Cortec. People will go for a product that has advantages or that they believe has advantages. The other thing that's going on is there's a bifurcation in income amongst the households. We're seeing a growth in upper income households, and we're seeing a growth in lower income households. So, the market for Lexus and the market for Toyota are going to grow. The market for Lincoln and the market for Ford are going to grow. But anything in the middle or that tries to stake out something in the middle is going to be squeezed, and it's going to be a lot tougher. So there's a whole bunch of marketing things that need to be done. And all of these things have risks, and, people have to assess those risks.
Okay, Santos. So we're talking a 4% revenue growth, probably a little bit of a decline in units for the rest of the year. I appreciate you giving us this read. Now, if somebody wants to get this report, they can contact you or FLOORFocus, right?
Correct. Yeah, you are our partners in producing this report, so we work together on this.
All right, Santos. Great to talk to you again. Been talking to Santo Torcivia, President of Market Insights, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr at FloorDaily.net.